They told you the past was over, but your soul knew something wasn't finished. My dear child, this is not just another night. Heaven saw your tears, your sleepless mind, and the way you kept asking for a sign. And tonight that sign begins with the sound of an engine, slow, steady, pulling up under the moonlight. A black car. It may seem ordinary to others, but not to you. Because the moment it stops, a memory you buried will wake up. Someone you once loved, someone who vanished without goodbye, is coming back with words that carry weight. They carry truth. They carry confession. There was something you never knew, something they never told you, and heaven is about to reveal it. When you see that car, your heart will beat differently. Your spirit will whisper, "This is it." You will feel a strange stillness in the air, as if time itself paused. Because this moment was written before you were born. You thought they left for good, but the truth is, their soul was never free from what they did. Every night they saw your face in their dreams. Every morning they woke up with guilt they couldn't explain. And now they can't run anymore. The black car is their confession, their return, their moment of truth. Type 777. If you believe this is your confirmation, child of light, what you're about to hear may shake you. The hidden recording from that night was not meant for the world to know, but it reached us for a reason. Inside that car, a voice trembled. It said, "I shouldn't be here, but I can't escape what I did." You might not understand why this message found you, but heaven does, because there are no coincidences in divine timing. You have felt uneasy lately, sensing someone thinking about you, dreaming faces that feel too real. That's not imagination, it's spiritual alignment. Your soul is receiving a signal from the past. The energy that left unfinished is now returning to complete its circle. And the black car is the bridge between what was broken and what must be healed. Stay alert. The sign will come when you least expect it. A shadow moving through rain, a reflection in glass, a name that echoes softly. When it happens, you'll know. Comment yes if you are ready for your breakthrough. Listen closely. Before that night, there were prayers whispered in pain. You asked God why some people disappear just when your heart begins to trust them. But what you didn't see was the battle they faced, not with you, but within themselves. Some people run from love because truth feels heavier than sin. But heaven doesn't forget love, and it doesn't lose track of the ones who left. When their car stopped that night, they spoke words they thought no one would ever hear. If they only knew what I found, they'd understand why I left. That voice cracked, followed by silence, then a sound, a deep sigh, like release. They had discovered something that terrified them, something connected to you. Not in the physical world, but in the spiritual. They saw the same dream you did. The one with the road, the rain, and the black car waiting at the end. That dream was prophecy. And now, it's replaying in reality. Child, don't be afraid of what's coming. God says the past is not returning to hurt you, it's returning to heal you. You have carried unfinished energy for too long. That's why relationships break the same way, why certain names still echo in your spirit. It's not weakness, it's spiritual connection. But now heaven is rewriting that memory. You will not relive the same pain again. You will understand it, release it, and rise. The black car is not a symbol of fear. It's the vehicle of closure. When it stops before you, it means God has finished the chapter you couldn't close on your own. Type 555 if you claim this release. They say when you truly forgive, the past loses its power. But there is something different about this one. Forgiveness was never enough because you never heard the truth. That's why the universe is sending it back to you. The truth has been driving toward you all along. The one who left will not be the same person when they return. Their eyes will look older, heavier, and in that silence, you will feel the weight of everything unsaid. You don't even have to speak. Heaven already knows what you wanted to say. Let your silence be your closure. Let your peace be your answer. You might think, why now? Why after all this time? Because God waited until you were strong enough to hear it, until your spirit could listen without breaking, until your heart could face the black car and not tremble. This is divine timing. What once broke you will now confirm your strength. What once felt like rejection will reveal divine protection. You were not abandoned, you were prepared. That's why tonight will be the night you remember forever. Because it's not just their return, it's your rebirth. Child, if your heart is racing right now, if your body feels cold, or your eyes tear up without reason, that's spiritual confirmation. Your soul recognizes this message. The one who left has been haunted by what they never told you, and heaven is finally giving them a chance to make peace. But this time it's not for their healing, it's for yours. When the black car stops and you see that familiar shadow step out, don't run. Just breathe. Watch. Listen. The truth is not coming to destroy you. It's coming to set you free. Type 777 if you believe this is your sign. Type 585 if you release the past. Comment yes if you're ready to receive what heaven prepared for you. Remember, nothing happens by accident. The message found you for a reason. Tonight, when the world is quiet and your mind begins to wander, you'll hear it again. The soft sound of the black car, the echo of what was, and the whisper of what's to come. God says, when the black car finally stops, your story will restart, but this time in peace. The moment the black car door opened, silence filled the air. The world around you faded, and it was just you, them, and the truth waiting to breathe. Their eyes looked different now. Not proud, not cold, but heavy with something real. Guilt, sorrow, and the need to finally speak. You didn't plan for this, but heaven did. This was never about revenge. It was about release. They tried to speak, but their voice cracked. I thought I could forget you, they said, but I couldn't. Every place I went, I saw your face. You could feel your pulse in your hands. The weight of the past began to lift like smoke. They reached into their pocket and pulled out a folded piece of paper, old, torn, but written with care. It was a letter they never sent, the one that explained everything. Their shaking hands told you more than their words could. That's when you realized this wasn't about what they did. It was about what you were meant to learn. Heaven used their silence to teach you strength. Their distance built your faith. Their return was not punishment, but prophecy. You listened without interruption. Every word they spoke was like unlocking a hidden door in your memory. That night I left, they whispered. I was afraid. I saw something. Something that told me I wasn't ready to stay. You didn't need to ask what it was. Deep down, your spirit already knew. Some connections are not random. They are written in the stars before time began. You were tied by divine contract, bound by lessons, not emotions. And tonight, that contract reaches its end. The energy must return to its source. That's why the black car came back, not to restart, but to release. God says, you are not meant to chase what is gone, but to bless what is leaving. Type 777 if you receive this truth. As they continued speaking, tears fell, Not from regret, but from realization. You were the only one who saw me, they said. But I didn't know how to be seen. That was the moment your heart understood. This was not closure from them. It was confirmation from God. All those lonely nights, all the unanswered prayers, all the confusion, it was leading to this. Heaven was never silent. It was preparing you for the return of understanding. You looked at them and saw not the one who left, but a reflection of who you used to be. Broken, afraid, searching. You didn't hate them anymore. You didn't need an apology. You just needed to know that the story wasn't for nothing, that every tear was counted. Every moment was divine timing. Comment, yes, if your spirit feels this. The sound of rain began to fall on the roof of the car, soft and rhythmic, almost like heaven clapping for the healing that was taking place. You closed your eyes and let the peace settle in your chest. They kept talking, confessing things you never imagined. Secrets that once had power over your peace now felt small, powerless, and distant. I was wrong, they said, but I want you to know I never stopped praying for you. And that was enough. You didn't need to hear more. You smiled faintly, not in pride, but in peace, because you realized something powerful. The pain didn't break you. It built you. The black car was not your ending. It was your graduation from pain to peace. Type 555. If you claim your freedom right now, heaven is saying to you, don't reopen old wounds. This was not a return to restart love, but to restore your soul. You were never meant to wait in bitterness. You were meant to rise in forgiveness. Every unanswered question is now answered through silence. Every closed door was divine protection. They left because you were not meant to shrink for their comfort. They returned only to see how far you've grown without them. That is your closure. That is your power. You don't owe them anything. You don't even owe them words. You owe yourself peace. Comment, I receive peace, if you feel it in your spirit. As the rain faded and the car lights dimmed, something supernatural happened. You felt warmth flow through your hands, your chest, your entire being. That was heaven touching your soul, confirming that the cycle has ended. The pain was the seed, and now the harvest is peace. You looked once more at the car before it drove away. No tears this time, no shaking hands, just calm understanding. The black car faded into the night, but you remained, still glowing, renewed. The sky cleared, and in that moment, a small wind brushed your face, whispering, "It is done." Child, heaven wants you to know this. The story didn't end when they left. It ended when you forgave. You broke a generational pattern tonight. The curse of emotional repetition has been lifted. That's why your dreams felt heavy lately. They were preparing you for release. That's why your heart felt restless. It sensed the closing of a spiritual door. But now it's over. God says you are free. The lesson is complete. From this night on, you will no longer attract broken versions of love. You will attract alignment, peace, and truth. You will no longer cry over what's gone, because you understand that endings are disguised beginnings. If this message is stirring something deep inside you, that's your spirit remembering who you are. A chosen one, protected, guided, and loved. Heaven did not forget you. It only waited for this moment to reveal what you couldn't understand before. The black car was never a warning. It was an awakening. When it stopped, heaven's timing started moving again. You are entering a new chapter now, one written in light, not in pain. Breathe deeply. Let it go. The night grew still after the black car disappeared down the empty road, yet your heart kept echoing with the sound of its fading engine. You stood there frozen between what was and what will be, but then something changed in the air. The silence became alive, heavy yet peaceful, as if heaven itself leaned close to speak. And in that stillness you heard it, not through your ears, but through your spirit. A voice calm yet powerful, speaking from within and above at once. "My child," it said, "you did not lose what was meant for you. You lost what could not follow you into your future." The words flowed like light, filling the dark corners of your memory. Every scene, every wound, every unanswered question began to make sense. God was not punishing you by taking them away. He was protecting you from what you could not see. The black car was never the ending. It was the messenger of your new beginning. Type 777 if your heart feels this truth. The voice continued. "I saw every night you cried. I saw when you looked at the sky and said, 'Why did they leave?' I saw when you blamed yourself for what others could not handle. But hear me, beloved. You were never hard to love. You were just too real for those still hiding from truth." Those words felt like fire and peace together. Every lie you believed about yourself began to crumble. You remembered how you used to pray for them to come back, thinking that would fix the ache. But God whispered, "I did not want you to heal through their return. I wanted you to heal through your revelation." Heaven's timing is never about your comfort. It's about your transformation. That's why the night feels long before the sunrise comes, because darkness is always loudest before the breakthrough. Comment yes if you're ready for that sunrise. Then the wind shifted, carrying a soft hum like distant music. You closed your eyes, and for a moment you saw flashes, not memories, but visions. You saw yourself smiling freely, walking without fear, loving again without hesitation. And behind you, the black car was still parked, but it was empty. That was the message. The seat that once held pain now held peace. The person who once held power over your emotions was no longer there. You had taken back what was always yours, your strength, your clarity, your destiny. God says, what once controlled you now bows to your growth. Type 555 if you receive that freedom. You opened your eyes and realized something sacred. This entire moment wasn't about them returning. It was about you returning to yourself, to your purpose, to your divine alignment. You spent years giving away pieces of your light, hoping someone would see your worth. But heaven hid your value until the right time, so no one could misuse it again. The black car's arrival was heaven's way of saying, the waiting is over. The road that once brought pain will now bring miracles. Every person who walked away was part of your training. Every delay was divine protection. You are not behind schedule. You are exactly where God needs you to be. Comment, I trust the timing, if your soul agrees. The voice spoke again, softer now. Do you feel that peace inside you? That's not just calm, that's confirmation. You are entering a season where everything that confused you will now serve you. The truth that once hurt you will now heal you. The same road that broke your heart will carry your blessings. You felt warmth on your face like sunlight, though the night was still. Heaven wanted you to know you are being prepared for something far greater. The black car was the symbol of endings, but the dawn you're stepping into is the symbol of purpose. This next chapter will not repeat the past, because you've finally learned the lesson the past was meant to teach. God continued, you will soon see why I needed you to stand alone, so when real love comes, you will recognize it not by words, but by peace. You will know it's from me because it won't come with confusion. It won't demand you to shrink or chase. It will meet you where you are and grow with you. That is the love I wrote for you before time began. Be patient. It is on its way. And then you saw it, a vision of two paths. One led backward, familiar but dark. The other shone faintly with golden light. The voice said, "Choose light. Leave the past where I buried it." You nodded even though no one was there. Because deep inside, you knew it was God speaking directly to your soul. Child, if you're hearing this now, heaven wants you to stop mourning what you outgrew. You are stepping into divine upgrades in love, in peace, in purpose. Every closed door is about to make sense. Every unanswered prayer is about to be revealed as redirection. The pain that once kept you small has now built the power that makes you unstoppable. The black car came, not to take something from you, but to deliver your peace back to you. Type 777 if you believe this message was meant for you. As the voice began to fade, one last sentence echoed through your heart. You will remember this night forever, not because of who came back, but because you finally came back to yourself. The sky above began to lighten, stars dimming as the first glow of dawn broke through. You smiled, not out of relief, but out of revelation. The cycle was complete. The old chapter was sealed. You could finally breathe without pain, dream without fear, and love without waiting. Heaven had done what your tears couldn't. It turned your heartbreak into holy ground. So now, lift your head, chosen one. You survived what was meant to destroy you. You found peace in the place where you once lost it. The night you'll remember forever isn't a tragedy. It's your transformation. The black car stopped, but your destiny just started moving. God says, go forward. The road is clear, the pain is gone, and the promise is alive. Type 555 if you claim this word. Comment yes if your soul feels it. And if this message touched you deeply, don't keep it. Share it. Because someone else is waiting for their own black car moment, and your faith might be the light that leads them home.